Welcome back to the Lemon Factor. I'm Chad, and today I'm here with our newest project car, the 2003 Lexus IS300 SportCross. And I'm continuing to update the fuel system. So in a recent video, I upgraded the fuel hanger and the in-tank fuel pump to a higher flowing fuel pump. I just recently upgraded the fuel line, the feed line, to the fuel rail, and upgraded the fuel rail from the OEM to the Radium Fuel Rail. In today's video, I am going to now install our Radium Fuel Pressure Regulator and Radium Fuel Gauge. I'm anxious to finally get all of this put back together so at least I can start driving the car again, much less get the turbo that I've already purchased installed on this car. As I mentioned, I replaced the OEM fuel rail or fuel pipe, whatever you want to call it, with the Radium. We attached a new -6 AN braided fuel line. And we have our Radium Fuel Pulse Damper attached back here. This Radium fuel rail has an opening back here, and we have our -6 capable fitting. So we're going to connect our fuel hose from here. I think I'm going to run it over here. So picture the manifold being attached here, and it'll come back here. I'm either going to attach the fuel pressure regulator to the manifold or maybe the strut here. I'm not sure exactly where, but I'm going to make my fittings and run my hose, and then I'll install the intake manifold so I see exactly where I'll be attaching it to. We're now ready to hook up the vacuum lines for both the fuel pressure regulator and the fuel pulse damper. So we do need a vacuum source, and we do have a couple options. Actually, we have quite a few options. The option that I'm going to use, which if we decide to change it later, we can. I'm going to remove this OEM cap from this line, and we're going to tee in our fuel pressure regulator into that line, and we'll tap in this line into our fuel pulse damper over here. Once that's all set up, I'm going to retighten, make sure everything's put in place, double check, triple check my work. I'll reinstall the intake manifold, and we're going to cross our fingers and hopefully everything starts and we don't have leaks. Now we are going to have to set our fuel pressure, so we may have some initial problems until we set that for idle. I do have a lot of slack here, and you'll see later on I did clean it up. Maybe. does take a crank or two to prime that fuel, get the fuel back into the lines, into the fuel rail, get the fuel injectors going. Fuel pressure was low, and as you can see here, I'm adjusting it. Super easy to do with the Radium Fuel Pressure Regulator. And I set the idle fuel pressure to 42 psi, giving it a good close inspection, making sure I have no fuel leaks. With that said, I think we're done for today. I want to thank you very much for joining, and until next time.